Okay guys, we're back out here in the shop, all you YouTubers, and we've got a box from Summit. I'm doing this with the GoPro, so it's probably going to look crappy. Anyway, it's pretty early in the morning. It's freezing cold outside as far as southern standards, and we're fixing to get to work on the Trojan Horse, trying to rectify our big problem. Anyway, on a side note, we have yet once again got more parts that have come in. Just a few little things. I know everyone likes watching stuff come out of a box. So one of the things we got was a transmission transaxle plugs. I usually just stick a yoke in the back of the T5s, but I figured I'd go ahead and splurge and buy a kit. It's $10, $11. Since we were going to have the motor out, we're going to go ahead and pull the motor out so we can drop the oil pan. I went ahead and got a steel bearing retainer. There's a seal for it. This one right here is not maybe like some of the ones that you guys are more familiar with that has the aluminum base with the steel snout. This is all steel. It's not pressed in. It's one piece. That's pretty tough. You'll probably break the case before you'll break that. So we got that. We also got a ARP oil pump drive shaft. If you've ever seen one of these things twist up a stalker, they look like a Twizzler when they come out. Since we're going to have the pan off, and we'll just drop the oil pump real quick and slide this up. It's just a little $20 safety precaution because I have twizzled one. We also got some gauges. This was the main reason we were ordering stuff. We got some nothing fancy. I was just going to get some from AutoZone or whatever, but I figured I'd just go ahead and get some cheap stuff from Summit. It's $35, 2 5/8, oil pressure, water temperature. The water temp gauge doesn't work on the factory gauges, and rather than just put another sensor in, I just would rather have mechanical gauges. And these, while they're not great, I prefer Autometer and stuff. I use Sun Pro. It just whatever, just to help keep an eye on it. It's not like I'm looking for the most accurate in the world. And the one other thing we got to help complete our order to get our free shipping, here's all this propaganda. We got a couple of head gaskets. We're not going to use these right now. These are for when we put our GT40s on. These are the 1011 2s. I like using these. They're fairly cheap. They're $35 a piece from Summit, and they're 39 thousandths compressed, which is about the thinnest you can get, relatively cheaply priced, and they're a good gasket. I've used these on just about everything. Love these gaskets. So that's it. That's what we got in our box. Nothing fancy, just some junk. But now we've got to get out in the cold and start working on this car, start getting the motor ready to pull out. So we'll be back. All right guys, we've pretty much got the front of the motor stripped and got all the wiring harness unplugged and everything. I guess maybe I should have turned the radio off, but what the heck. Anywho, we just gotta take the bottom bolt out of the starter, unbolt that H pipe, and then we'll pull the drive shaft out real quick and drop the cross member, hopefully real quick, and then we'll hook the hoist up to it and pull it out and get the oil pan off of it and see what the damage is. Hopefully it's just the skirt. And Pirate Mike's already got a replacement parts for it, another piston and rod. So we'll hopefully get that fixed. One more quick little thing is that we got some taillights. Got rid of the other ones, and yes, one of them is like a tinted one. I didn't even realize it till I got it, but I didn't hardly pay anything for it, so it still looks better than those broke up GT lights. And you know, it is what it is. It's just par for the course for me. This is just the way it goes a lot of times. You get the good deals, you get the so-so deals, and then you get the deals. So anyway, I gotta get back to work, get this thing out and get the oil pan off of it. Pirate Mike's texting me like crazy, wanting to know if I got it out yet, what's going on in the oil pan, blah, 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 blah. It's just pressures, lots of pressure. So, all right, I get back to work, guys. Well, YouTube, we just got back from lunch and we ran into Pirate Mike. He was in our area of town and he dropped off a little something for us. It's these Comp Engineering 3-way shocks. The cost of these is yet to be determined. It sounded like maybe lunch and some friendship, but he's not a fan of these adjustable 3-ways at all. I've got a set of them on the silver car. They work okay, but he just doesn't like them. You know, to be honest, I think he just likes to buy stuff. But anyway, so these have found our way to us to put on the, as he's calling it now, the Tragic Horse, not the Trojan Horse. He also dropped us off these. He had some extra rods. This is a number 3. They're all stamped from the factory. 3. That's number 4. That's probably the one we would use just for, you know, irony's sake, I guess. And this is a number 2. Now these we think what's happened is that we've broken the skirt off. We think that when it was coming up, where the nameplate and the valve hit, it cocked the piston like that, and it broke the skirt. That's what we think has happened. That's what we hope has happened. And what we'll do is we'll pull the old one out. We'll get all the pieces out of the oil pan, and we'll swap our rod bearing over, and we'll also swap our rings over and put it back together. Yes, kids probably don't want to do this at home, but you know, we just try and do what we need to get done. But anyway, a side note, these pistons and rods, they've had some power stuff to them. These things have been 670s at 105. That was on drag radials, basically not knowing what the heck was going on, and made over 500 horsepower to the tires with a Pro Charger. So, I mean, hey, we got some big power parts, or at least one piston and rod that's been fast is going to be in a car that's slow. So anyway, just a quick thing. We got us some shocks. Hopefully we've got us a remedy for our other problem. Now, you know what? We got to get back to work. See that? See how I did that? I pointed. So, all right. I got to go, guys. Get that thing out. All right, guys. We're out here rocking out with the radio, and we've got it all ready to pull. We got the hoist pulled up, hooked up to it. Everything's unbolted. Now it's time to snatch it out, pull that pan, and find out what we got. All right, let's get to work. Well, there we go, guys. We got the horse of the tragic horse out. Wait a minute, what'd I say? Okay, guys, we got the heart of the tragic horse, or Trojan horse. We got it hanging in the air. Let's go ahead and swing her on out and just get the transmission broke off of it, and let's pull the oil pan off and see what kind of debacle we got. See if we can hopefully fix it. So, all right, gotta go. Okay, YouTube, we've got our transmission out. This is one of the things. This is why I ordered the steel bearing retainer while I was going to go ahead and have it out. Look at that thing. That's a factory aluminum, but look at how galled up it is. It's all pitted. It's got a nice ridge in it. So this is why I'm not a fan of these things. It's got a little bit of play. It's not horrible. We're going to tighten that up. We're going to shim our new steel bearing retainer up. We're going to get rid of that. But yeah, this is why I went ahead and ordered one. As soon as I decided I was going to pull the motor out, this is why I ordered it, because these things are just, they're garbage, especially when they got a ton of miles on them. So anytime you pull one out, hey, do yourself a favor and spend a little bit of money, 40 bucks or so, and swap that bad boy out. All right, now let's get the rest of this garbage tore apart. Its guts are leaking. All right, guys, I can get back to work. Okay, guys, we're back out here in the shop, and I would really like to report that things are going fantastic. They're not going bad, but they're not going good either. Here's the clutch that come out of it. Just a stocker. Actually looks, you know, pretty decent. Still got some, it's getting a little worn, or hopefully it'll get us by. We're not going to put a clutch in it right now. We're going to wait a little while. We just like doing work around here, obviously. On a side note, this is where things are not as good as we would like. We didn't find a broke piston skirt, so we're gonna have to delve into it a little bit farther. I pulled number 4 and number 8 rod caps off. The bearings looked okay, just general wear. So next, I guess we're going to pull the head off and see if we've actually got a cracked piston. What's going on with it? So, but we got it out. We didn't really find anything. That's always a bad part. There was nothing in the oil pan, just some general sludge and stuff like that. So, you know, never fun when you don't find anything. So, all right, well, let me get back to work. Maybe we can find out what's wrong with this thing. Get it back together so we can get it to the track. This thing's driving me crazy. All right, gotta go, guys. All right, YouTubers, while we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do about the motor, since we technically haven't really found anything wrong, it's disturbing. While I'm thinking it over, we'll go ahead and change out our bearing retainer, get that on real quick, and I guess we'll do our oil pump drive shaft while I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna do. So, all right, I just thought I'd throw this in here. Let me get back to work, get this buttoned up. Okay, we've got our preliminary check on. Let me see if I can, there we go. Yep, we got no movement. Spins pretty good. It had a 38.5 in it for the shim, and we basically went to a like a 43, so we took up some slack. Now we're going to pull this back out later on and do the inserts and the shift fork pads. I just didn't feel like doing it this time. I know it's just like doing work, but we'll check it again and see what kind of play we've got. So I like to run a little tight because it's going to wear in a little bit, but we'll see where we're at. That'll be pretty good. But so like I say, we'll have our steel bearing retainer on, be tightened up, transmission be tightened up just a touch, and then we'll finish it up with our other stuff. We order it and swap it out later on down the road. All right, I know this is like super boring, but hey, whatever. It's got to be done. So anyway, all right, guys, let me finish buttoning this back up, put a little RTV on it, and seal her up. All right, we'll be back. Okay, guys, while we're also thinking about the meaning of life, we're going to go ahead and swap our oil pump drive shaft. This is what a stock one looks like. I'm sure, whoops, sorry about that. I'm sure everybody's seen one. Little Twizzler, obviously ARP shaft. So I don't think there's much else I need to say about that. Those bad boys right there, they will twist themselves up into a pretzel if you're not careful. It doesn't happen very often. I've only twizzled one, honestly, but it's happened quite a bit, enough to where people talk about it. So anyway, that's our ARP shaft. Also, when you stick it in, make sure you put your distributor in and make sure you've got plenty of clearance. We'll probably have to run the clip down a little bit, but just make sure it doesn't bind up or anything. There's sometimes things happen. Better safe than sorry. I mean that's comical coming from me, but anyway, all right, let me get that thing in.